Hello and a good day. Konnichiwa. We are from Malaysia and we are studying in University Malaysia Pahang. My name is Nur Aisyah binti Ahmad Rozi.
My name is Sudara Ana Promo Betong.
My name is Muhammad Syazani bin Musaini.
My name is Wan Amirah Wan Abdullah.
Today, our guru would like to present to you about ethnicity in Malaysia. Ethnicity is a category of people who identify with each other based on common language, ancestral, social, cultural or national experience. Unlike most other social groups, ethnicity is primarily an inherited status. Malaysia is a multiracial country consisting of Malays, Chinese, Indian and numerous indigenous people. Malaysia is an example of a highly pluralistic society populated by more than 80 ethnic groups, and the three major ethnic is Malay, Chinese and Indian. Malay who make up Malaysia's largest ethnic group, which is more than 50% of the population. Malays are known for their good mannerism, while the second largest ethnic group, the Malaysian Chinese, form 25% of the population. The Chinese are known for their diligent and keen business sense. The Indians constitute 7% of the Malaysian population and is the third and smallest of the three main ethnic groups. Mainly Hindus, they browse their colourful cultures. Chinese and Indian are the descendants of immigrants who come to Malaya during the middle of 19th century to fill up the labour gap required to spur colonial economic activities. Okay, I will proceed to the first question. How Malay and Chinese are treated differently under the Malaysia government?
Racism and racial politics came about during British colonial rule. British colonialism introduced divide and rule strategy that view minorities as non-indigenous or immigrant who required assimilation. It was also the strategy of the colonial power to segregate the various ethnic groups according to the both occupation and domicile. The Malaysian state still use racism to divide and rules, while racial discrimination is a part of partial and of official policy, and the ruling party and its affiliates periodically issue threat of mob violence against any who challenge the status quo. The new economy policy and subsequent economy policies intended to reduce and eventually eliminate the identification of race with economic function. The impact of this such policy is contrasted. Some argue that in practice the principal beneficiaries have been grown ethnic Malay middle class. As a result, other ethnic groups, including Chinese, Indian and some indigenous community, experience discrimination in the field of education, employment, housing and also political participation. While for the school and university in Malaysia are on the whole segregate along racial lines, primarily as a result of the use of the Malay as a language of instruction in the public school. For the primary school or such as in vernacular national type school, and students are disadvantaged by the unequal financial support provided by the government, which favour for the Malay school and Malay student. For non-Malay political parties has been discriminated against through, for example, restriction of their freedom of expression. So within the employment field, Malay employee dominate the public sector as the result of affirmative action policies, and such policies have also led to preferential treatment of Malay in the housing sector. So the Malay political process is also dominated by the ethnic Malay who hold the most powerful senior leadership position, as you can see as our Prime Minister Datuk Najib Razak.
Thank you, Saudara. Now I will proceed to the second question that you asked for our group, which is, are there many foreigners working in Malaysia? The answer is yes. Estimated about 4 million people are work in Malaysia. And for your information, actually, Malaysia began reliance on the foreign worker in the 1970s. This is because the shortage of a local workers to fill vacancies, especially in the construction and also in the manufacturing sector. The foreign workers are mainly from the neighboring Southeast Asia nations like Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, and Myanmar, and also for the South Asian countries which are Nepal, India, and Bangladesh. Next, I will move on to the statistic for foreign workers that comes to the Malaysia. They have, as you can see, they have data from 2005 to 2050, and if you can compare it 2005-2050, they have increases in the 10%, and they have also fluctuate in the data from 2005 or 2015, and the highest value or highest data that recorded was in 2013, which was around 2.4 million workers that comes to Malaysia. There I will proceed to the origin of our workers that come to Malaysia, and the highest recorded was from the workers in Indonesia, which was recorded around 39%, and the second largest was Bangladesh, which was 30%, and the lowest value was others, which is 1%. Next, I will move on to the it's very common for Malaysian to work overseas.
Thank you to Shazani. Is it very common for Malaysian to work overseas? Okay, so let's move to the work overseas. Basically, student and young professional tell why they don't prefer to work in Malaysia. So there are 5 reasons. First is low starting salary. Second, nepotism. Third is more meritocratic opportunities abroad. 4, a desire to bring parents abroad to retire once they are settled. And 5, declining ringgit. Okay, for the first is low starting salary. This is because once you decided to work with your degree certificate with your salary about 2,000 ringgit to 3,000 ringgit, it is not enough, since with your salary you have to pay the bills, rent, loans, your important stuff to give to your parents, and for your food and drinks. With 2,000 ringgit, 3/4 of your salary is gone once you pay your rent in Malaysia. But if you live outside central London or anywhere else other than London, rental is probably around 600 to 700 pound if your salary is around 2,000 ringgit pound. Miscellaneous bills are probably an extra 300 pound, so you still have half of it left for the rest of the month. Second is nepotism. For perceived nepotism, work culture. Okay, nepotism is giving majority shareholdings to family members. The practice among those with power or influence of favoring relative or friends, especially by giving them jobs. For example, when the boss expects you to be at work on time and yet her son show up routinely late and nothing is said about it. Nepotism may be in play. For the third is more meritocratic opportunities abroad. Government are the holding of power by people selected on the basis of their ability, skill or knowledge, a system in which advancement is based on individual abilities or achievement. 4 is a desire for bring parents abroad to retire once they are settled, because they have an experience during working by earning high salary from the overseas. Of course, they have money to do that. And the lastly is declining ringgit, with enhanced day to travel to overseas to find job. This is because if they love traveling and at the same time, when they exchange money, it may cost higher, so they prefer to work overseas instead of traveling. So, it is thank you from us. Bye.